Hey there! Let's dive into the fascinating world of image generation with Azure OpenAI service and unravel the technical details for those of us with IT backgrounds in the mix. Azure's cloud-based approach to AI-driven image generation is becoming increasingly crucial for businesses across various industries. As a senior cloud architect, I find it utterly engaging to explore the depths of Azure OpenAI service for this purpose, understanding not just the basics but getting really technical about setup, troubleshooting, and fine-tuning. First things first, Azure OpenAI service leverages cutting-edge generative adversarial networks, or GANs, to craft stunning visuals from textual inputs. Now, this could sound intimidating at first, but bear with me as we uncover how this technology is a powerhouse in automating image creation workflows. Okay, so we'll start by talking about the architecture underlying this service. Imagine a well-orchestrated symphony of interplaying systems in Azure that come together to produce eye-catching visuals. There are several critical components to consider here: the Azure OpenAI service, the Azure machine learning pipelines, the Azure functions triggered by API responses, and finally, the cloud object storage where our generated images dwell after creation. Let's break down the Azure OpenAI service setup further. At the heart of it all lies the model. Azure's Armadillo, the model that makes everything tick, is based on the Latentity GPT-3 model, a generative language model. However, for image generation, we'd use .E Mini or, more recently, the .E3 model. These AI models have been trained on massive datasets containing billions of images alongside textual descriptions, allowing for nuanced interpretations of our prompts. Now, integrating this service within Azure involves deploying a custom resource on the Azure portal. After creating the resource, we set up the service with all the necessary credentials, enabling communication between the Azure OpenAI service and the image generation pipeline we'll architect next. Diving straight into setup and deployment for our Azure OpenAI image generation service, let's get hands-on by constructing the Azure machine learning pipeline. First, we create a compute target on Azure where we can host our image generation model. Then, we'd develop an Azure function that accepts a prompt. This is where the user's text gets funneled into our pipeline. It'll take this prompt to invoke the Azure OpenAI service, request image generation, and then store the resulting images in Azure Blob Storage, efficiently leveraging Azure's fully managed, scalable object storage. Once everything is set up, it would require configuring the Azure function to handle inputs, communicate with the Azure OpenAI service, and save the generated images and their metadata. But let's not just stop there. With great power comes great responsibility, and we need to ensure nothing goes amiss, which brings us to troubleshooting and optimization. Troubleshooting common errors often starts with network latency issues or misconfigurations during the deployment phase. You'd be surprised how a minor typo on your prompt can spell trouble, or a misconfigured access policy can block the flow of creativity. It's like debugging a complex software but with a creative touch. But then, the optimization part. It all begins with refining the prompts for the best visual output, custom image resolutions, and quality tuning based on feedback. Monitoring the throughput of requests and scaling our compute resources during peak times is like balancing in this AI-generated image dance. After navigating through all these details, always remember the importance of best practices. Regular security audits, compliance with regulations, respectful use of AI, these are essential pillars while integrating AI services like Azure OpenAI service into our business workflows, ensuring ethical considerations and fair usage. Honestly, diving into the architectural setup, configuring services, optimizing workflows, troubleshooting, and sticking to best practices in Azure's OpenAI service for image generation not only helps in enhancing our IT infrastructure but also amplifies creative solutions that AI can offer. Feel the rush of power flowing in your fingertips, as now everyone knows how to command Azure's AI in image generation, opening up endless realms of creativity. I encourage you to keep exploring, keep inventing, and who knows, you might become the maestro in this symphony of AI-generated marvels. If you want to master this craft or just appreciate its incredible potential, I'd love to share more insights. So, make sure to stop by at neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab for an exclusive journey into the realms of AI and Azure services that fuel every tech enthusiast endorphin rush.